On Monday, the 1st of October 2018, the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, and the Legacy Initiative International held her first Christian Leaders Roundtable Summit, which focused on the need for good governance in Nigeria. The event, which was held at the Baptist Guest House in Lupeju, Lagos. The conference, which was organized by the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, and the Legacy Initiative International, was aimed at discussing the way forward on the issue of good leadership for Nigeria in all positions of authority. The event formally kicked off with the opening remarks by the President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN. In his address, Reverend Dr. Chukwu Ayokunle said the body was set up to gather representatives from religious organizations to put heads together and stop the trend of political decadence in Nigeria. Reverend Dr. Chukwu Ayokunle spoke on the current state of the nation, as well as his beliefs and convictions about Nigeria. He said Nigerians need to elect leaders who are sacrificing and ready to listen to their people. He added that, as Nigerians, we must learn to respect each other and speak in one voice. He welcomed all to the occasion and urged everyone to put heads together in order to find a lasting solution to Nigeria's political problems.
We are taking of the sufferings in Nigeria, one way or the other. At least if you have never partaken of anything hardship in Nigeria, I know you are partaking of the bad roads, because you can't be flying everywhere. You are partaking of these death traps that we call roads in Nigeria. God is going to change everything. Amen. There may be a defined disruption, which may be confusing, but I believe the divine disruption is divine interruption to bring divine healing, divine restoration, and it shall be well with Nigeria. Amen. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. It shall be well with us. Amen. We cannot gather together in vain. The Lord will honor our gathering. Amen. Thank you all for coming.
Dr. Kenny Martins, Grand Patron, Legacy Initiative International, in his address said the organization is mainly focused on bringing together leaders at the highest levels of the Christian and Muslim faith to fashion out ways to forge closer relationships and help bring accountability into the leadership of Nigeria. He added that, devoid of any candidate's religious beliefs, Nigerians must elect the right persons into offices, saying that at age 58, we're still crying and yearning for the most basic things like power, infrastructure, technology, and so on. He appealed to political leaders to give room for change and give Nigeria a chance to prosper and make progress.
To also help us to propagate this new development, this new year, this new beginning on this auspicious day. That's on this 4th day, October 2018, 58th year of the independence of Nigeria. That under God, this country is finally ready to make a new start and take a break from the past. To be leaders, soon to be leaders, and ensure that only the best amongst them that can fly the flag of fruitfulness to the nation and to themselves and to God are made and supported to emerge. It is not enough to fight corruption. We do not need to fight corruption, because corruption has no life of its own. Corruption lives in the minds and the hearts of the people. If we choose the right leaders who are not motivated or driven by greed, who instead are motivated and driven by the concern and the consciousness to contribute and make the country better, they will not need to fight corruption. This country wants to emerge not as a corruption-fighting country. This country wants to emerge as a champion in development, in technology, in agriculture, in science, in social and living indices that are comparable to the rest of the world. That is what we want to be known for. Enough of fighting corruption. And the panacea to this is to choose ab initio the right quality and caliber of leadership.
Reverend Dr. Shukwu Okunle, in his concluding remarks, highlighted some of the basic steps taken by the Christian Association of Nigeria in preparation for the forthcoming general elections. He said the Christian Association of Nigeria has been registered with the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) as election monitors. They have also trained 300 people, each for the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, who will later be shared in threes on the day of election in each polling unit. Addressing the media, Reverend Dr. Shukwu Okunle appealed to them to carry out their duties with integrity and fairness, as anything other than that is an act of mortgaging the future of Nigeria.
To survive, there is a grand norm that we must not run away from, and this grand norm is love. If there is no love between us, that we emphasize the things that unite us more than the things that divide us, we will be doomed. We should not forget that right from the beginning, ethnicity in the hands of God was a tool of division, not a tool of unity. And let me repeat that. And I think when I'm saying this also, I'm theologically balanced. Yes. God introduced ethnicity into the world of men, not to unite them, but to divide them. The Tower of Babel. Yeah. Before that time, the whole world was of one language. But because the desire of man became contrary to the desire of God, and God saw that he would not be able to stop them, he said, let us confuse their language so that they will not be able to understand themselves again. And everything later became to your tents, O Israel. They couldn't communicate. If we do not employ love in this nation, if we continue to emphasize our divisions, we will be more divided than division itself. And nobody, no ethnic group can be called Nigeria.
After a closed-door meeting between the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) and the Legacy Initiative International, there were a series of photo and video sessions with Reverend Dr. Shukwu Okunle, the President, Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN), and the patron, Legacy Initiative International, Dr. Kenny Martins. Afterwards, a communique was read by Chief Johnny Fanyu Chiaga, the National Secretary, Legacy Initiative International, which brought the event to an end.
On this historic day of 1st October 2018, the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) and Legacy Initiative International Legacy met in Lagos to discuss the way forward on the issue of good governance or good leadership for Nigeria in all positions of authority, and agreed to issue the following communique. 1. CAN and Legacy will henceforth engage more in helping Nigeria to enthrone good governance by making sure that only suitable persons with proven leadership qualities are voted into public offices during elections. 2. CAN and Legacy will pay closer attention to what manner of candidates that put themselves forward for election into public offices and make their opinions known to the Christian faithful in a non-partisan manner. 3. CAN and Legacy will meet with the leadership of the Muslim faithful to draw a template together of the minimum expectations of the interfaith community from those vying for elections into public offices in Nigeria, from the federal, state, and local government positions, and agree on the best suitable candidates for each of the offices. 4. where a candidate has gotten elected into public office based on the intervention of the interfaith community but failed to live up to expectations, CAN and Legacy will support the recall of such officials by the constituents and will not support such candidates in any future election.
From BISCON Communications, we commend the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, and Legacy Initiative International for their passion to move the nation forward.